Peace and blessings, family. Welcome back to another episode of Learn with Shavern. So, on today's episode, we are going to talk about the Snackbot being used by the University of the Pacific in Stockton, California. Now, this is interesting because if you guys have been watching my channel lately, you've noticed, as I said, I've moved into this motion about talking about technology and its uses, from the whole thing with the AIs to, China having a whole factory of robots, making other robots and cars, to the NYPD using the drones, to now the University of the Pacific is being used as a test site for the Snackbots. These Snackbots, well, let me take a step back. So PepsiCo created a company called Hello Goodness is the brand. It was created in like 2015, meant to bring healthier snacks. So the way that it's going to be used on the University of the Pacific is the Snackbot's going to be available from 9 to 5. It's going to be like 3 to 5 robots that's going to drive around the campus, delivering snacks and stuff to the students. I didn't see anything in the article about like how payments, like how it's being paid for, how the payments being issued. So being a college, going to college or whatever, I know that you got meal plans. So if they were going to apply the same thing, I'm sure like the students probably got some type of meal plan associated with their name or face or whatever. The Snackbots actually come with built-in cameras, and they're outside. And I'll share the link below so you guys can read more in the article if you wish to, or if you want to see how the Snackbots look. They actually remind me of R2-D2 and stuff. For my Star Wars fans out there, shout out my Star Wars fans, right? It reminded me of R2-D2 the way that they look a little bit, but they have a built-in camera and they are waterproof. They have all-wheel drive, so like any bumps and stuff or sidewalks that they have to go over, it won't really be a block for them. I think they can function under most weather conditions or any weather conditions. I can't remember if the article said if it was any or all. But anyhow, the test site thing was interesting. The vice president of PepsiCo feels that this is a good way of marrying consumer demand. I'm not sure. He thinks that it's an innovative technology, which it is. It's a brilliant idea. But remember I told you guys, like, let's be mindful of these little motions, right? We got all these things happening simultaneously. And this is brand new news that they released to the public in terms of the Snackbot. Let me know what you guys think about the Snackbot. Do you think that that's cool to have a little robot, riding around college campus? For my college students out there, if you even gone to camp, I think that if I was in college and we had a Snackbot, I'm not gonna lie, it probably would have been a dope idea, especially if I'm going in between classes. And if it's from one building to another and I'm riding between classes and I'm like running late, but I'm hungry, Snackbot probably would have been convenient. I'm not even gonna lie, like, can't front on that for real. But it is very interesting, as I stated before in my previous videos, about this motion of how we're integrating with technology. And it seemed at first that it was going in baby steps, but no, it's like boom, boom, boom. We going back to back with it. And I always like to observe when these things are happening, especially whenever things are happening at the same time, like with politics and technology being released, usually all of those things are intertwined in my eyes. So I always look at what's happening with like the local politics and stuff like that. But I just thought that was very interesting, and I wanted to share that with you guys. I want to know what you guys think about it, to have the little Snackbot. It is actually the Hello Goodness brand that owns the Snackbot. Apparently, the University of the Pacific is one of 50 sites that the Snackbot will be used at. That one was most interesting to me because it was in California, that particular test site, and that's here in America. So I know a lot of people feel like, oh, that whole thing in China, whatever, or South Korea, sorry, the whole thing that happened in South Korea, whether it did or did not happen, was like a really big thing. But as I stated, we're not too far away from it being unreal to real, and to just be attentive of how we're moving in these motions, right? I'm sorry, like I just realized, like, right, my son is playing in the living room, which is normally where I have my little office area. So I decided to move things to my bedroom. So you guys are joining me in my temple. All right, so not to sidetrack, the Hello Goodness brand being created in 2015 actually partnered with San Francisco Bay Area based technologies. And there's a couple of other things that the Hello Goodness brand actually own, because when I was reading the article, it had like a list of products that they sell, but I recall reading like from a while back ago, most of these little or these startup companies or whatever, they're usually owned by bigger companies. So as I stated, PepsiCo is partnered with them. Pepsi Cola, Coca-Cola, all of those brands, they all intertwine. They all owned by each other. So at the end of the day, if you look at the head, right, if you look at the head, you'll see where the tail is, or vice versa. If you see where the tail is, you got to connect it up to the head. So I'm always observative of what is the objective of the head. Like, we see the tail because this is what they show the public. The public only gets to see the tail end of things. But I'm very curious to know what's the agenda of the head when it comes to the Snackbot, right? Again, as I said, the Snackbot has built-in cameras. So I was curious as to how they want to do the payment. Like, was the payment going to be based off of the student's identification number? Or is it going to be like a facial recognition software that they're going to be using? Or it didn't really go into specifics there as to how it was going to be exchanged. But I'm pretty sure it's going to be somewhere along those lines for the little snacks. But a lot of money is being put into this technology, people. A lot of money. And big tech we're making motions where big tech is becoming bigger and bigger, right? We know that Google recently purchased YouTube, and they recently purchased Amazon, right? So big tech is becoming bigger, and we have to be observative at what direction big tech is going in, because we as the people control that direction. But if we're not attentive to what direction it's going in, we can allow it to go in the wrong direction, right? A child left unnurtured ends up going in the wrong direction, and that's what technology is. It is our child because we created it, just like God created us. So please drop a comment below. Let me know your thoughts on the Snackbot. Do you think it's cool? Do you think we're moving into that Terminator AI motion, as I've been stating before? Let me know what you guys think. I appreciate everyone for liking, sharing, subscribing, becoming Patreons. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate all of you guys who have been consistently watching. I am grateful for all of you guys. And you know what? Before we go, I want to share something with you guys. So every year at the beginning of the year, I always make a list of my intentions set for that year, right? And I make my intentions, and then I put that list somewhere that I'll see it every day, but I won't really see it per se. So last year, 2017, New Year's Eve, I had a glass jar that I just had in my house. And so on my glass jar, I wrote a bunch of words down on sticky notes, and I folded them in 4, and I put them in a glass jar, and I closed it. So I'm like saying to myself, I'm looking at the glass jar, I'm like, man, it's been a whole year and the year's done now. So I was like, let me open this. What were the words that I wrote down on it? Yeah, I won't believe the words I wrote down on it. I am happy to say that I did accomplish all of these words, so I am grateful. First one being abundance, right? I am grateful that I have called in a lot of abundance, knowledge, right? Wisdom, love of self, acceptance of self, protection. Last year was my first year going to the gun range. So protection both in the physical and spiritual world. Health. Every year I intend to be healthy. And so I mentioned to you guys that I haven't gotten sick in a few years. That's because every year at the beginning of the year, I declare good health for myself. Peace of mind, peace of environment, peace of situations. And last but not least, joy, right? Finding joy in the little things. I mentioned that to you guys. It is the little things that makes me happy. So peace and blessings. I wish you guys a positive, productive, powerful day, family.